Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Alright everyone, this is Scotsman and welcome to Going Over Bet Pro Wrestling, the only wrestling betting tips podcast on the planet. Probably a reason for that. Me and my usual co-host Vince are the only degenerates who actually bet on a fake predetermined event. In saying that, there's definitely crazier things that people bet on. I saw the other day at DraftKings you could bet on Ultimate Frisbee. And then I looked it up and there's all this detailed analysis of like people actually analysing all the games and talking about, Boston minus 4.5. They lost one of the key players and it's just like, oh my god. I'd much prefer betting on WWE and AEW wrestling and try to figure out Vince McMahon and all his crazy decisions as opposed to Ultimate freaking Frisbee. So this week we've got SummerSlam. It's a Saturday. That's August 21st. So remember, Saturday, because I forgot. I made plans, SummerSlam watch party, and had it down in my calendar as Sunday, and I messaged all my mates that I was getting together with, and I was like, you guys know it's Saturday, right? And they're like, no, it's not, it's WWE, it's Sunday, NXT's Saturday. I'm like, no, it's Saturday, and NXT's dead, I mean, basically is. So, anyway, Saturday, SummerSlam. I will be doing my official betting tips over at betwwe.com on Saturday morning. So if you want my actual betting tips for sure, my certainties that I believe in anyway, go to betwwe.com on Saturday morning. Vince is not here this week. I don't know why he wouldn't want to sit around for an hour and discuss Omos or Sheamus or all that, Goldberg, Jinder, Mahal. I mean, come on. All the stars there, it's like the new elite. So Vince isn't there. I'm going to do some quick thoughts on each match, give you the betting odds, let you know my initial thoughts this week, and I'll make my final decisions on Saturday. So let's start, and I'll explain the whole betting thing here, all the odds, just in case you're not sure how betting odds work. So the first match we'll cover is Randy Orton and Riddle versus AJ Styles and Omos. Randy Orton and Riddle are minus 200. That means you have to bet $200 to win $100. So if you bet them and they lose, you lose $200. AJ Styles and Omos are plus 150. That means they're the underdogs, and if you bet $100, you will win full profit, $150. So you'd actually get $250 back, your original 100, and your the 150 winnings. So that's those odds. That's minus 200 means favorite. Plus odds are the underdog, and you'll hear some bigger ones throughout the card, like plus 350 and so on. That's someone that's a much bigger underdog and all that, and you don't really want to bet anything like minus 200 is really the limit of what you want to bet on, unless it's really small money, because it's very risky and not worth it. So okay, so first match, Randy Orton, Riddle, AJ Styles and Omos. I mean, Orton and Riddle are awesome. Could see it, could see them win the tag titles, can see why they're the favourites. But it depends if Vince is really bored of Omos or not. He's still pretty protected, although he did take the DQ loss on Raw last night. I'm actually leaning a small bet on Styles and Omos, because you look at it, and Orton and Riddle, they need the belts. They don't need the belts. They're great without the belts, you know what I mean? And AJ Styles and Omos are great with the belts. They need the belts. So I'm leaning Styles and Omos. Plus 150 is a bit tight. I could see money coming in Orton and Riddle, and it might push them out to about plus 200, in which case it would very likely be a bet. But yeah, AJ Styles Omos, nice little underdog possibility right there. Alexa Bliss, minus 400 versus Eva Marie, plus 250. I mean, it seems crazy for Alexa to lose here, but in the world of the Fiend and the female Fiend, anything can happen, it seems. Just think of WrestleMania there, where we profited off Randy Orton over the Fiend. I'm going to stay away from this one, I think. I just cannot come up with enough reasons for Eva Marie to actually win. I think Bliss will. So yeah, that one, I think the favourite will win. No bet there. Drew McIntyre, minus 600 versus Jinder Mahal, plus 350. I really like the underdog Jinder Mahal here. This feud still has legs to it. So, like, one thing you should look at when you're betting on wrestling is what's following this pay-per-view. And if you look at like how these two haven't feuded for that long, this is first real match. I think these two are feuding for at least another two pay-per-views, and I think Jinder Mahal goes over here to like give the feud some legs. Vince also loves them, so that also really helps. So yeah, I think Jinder Mahal plus 350. I'm pretty darn confident I'm going to place a bet on that one. If I were you, just in case the odds change, I'd probably place a small bet just now. If your confidence level was 1 is your minimum confidence and 5 is your maximum, I'd probably do a 2 on that. Plus 350 odds, good return on 2-unit play. So yeah, Jinder Mahal, he's worth a bet right now. Damian Priest is minus 200 versus Sheamus, who is plus 150. Priest has a lot of TV time focused on him lately, with all his lovely feuding with The Miz and Morrison. Yeah, because I'm not tired of that. Holy crap. Sheamus, he's been like an afterthought for the most part. I feel like, yeah, they got to go with Priest here. Minus 200, too short for me to bet on. Some of you will disagree, and that's fine. If you want to bet on it, I would say, yeah, it's a good bet. If you're going to bet someone at minus 200, Priest is a good bet here. Bianca Belair minus 200, Sasha Banks plus 150. I'm not even sure what's going on with this match, if it's going to happen or not, why they've been off the house shows due to health reasons. I'm holding off on any thoughts on this one. If it's still going on, like, I would be betting the underdog regardless, unless any news comes out, because then, like, if it's an injury, you've got to hope it's the favourite. I mean, obviously you hope no one's injured, but if it is, you hope it's the favourite and you can profit off it. Bobby Lashley minus 600, Goldberg plus 350. Do you see the ratings last night? WWE did pretty darn well. It was 1.8 million or something. I haven't seen the quarter hours and all that stuff yet. If Goldberg was the reason for that, if the third hour stayed strong, if his quarter stayed strong, man, I could see him winning that title belt at plus 350 odds. It's probably not in betting territory for me just yet, but if it gets to about plus 400, plus 450, I might consider it. So we'll see how the chips fall on Saturday morning. Edge minus 300, Seth Rollins plus 200. This is another one I really like. I like Seth Rollins here. I know Edge is seriously in need for wins. Big time. Oh my god, is he ever. But Seth's been working a lot with Big E at the house shows and in dark matches as well. So that makes me think it's going to be a post-SummerSlam feud. And if so, does Seth need to win? If they're looking to build Big E up to be a contender, possibly. I'm really leaning on Seth Rollins here. I think there's a very good chance of him winning and immediately moving on to a feud with Big E, and him going into that with the win and the momentum would be good. Edge, I could see him doing some kind of, I don't want to get any fancy booking territory, but you know what I mean? Like, I could see him doing something about the fact that he keeps losing, making that a whole big storyline, So, Seth Rollins, very strong possible pick for me. I'm hoping for better odds than plus 200, but we'll see how it goes. Nikki Ash versus Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Nikki's minus 125, Charlotte's plus 150, Rhea is plus 250. What happened last time? Always bet on Charlotte. Money in the Bank. Who won? Charlotte. It's WWE booking, man. So, like, they just love her. I mean, in the booking of Nikki speaks for her itself. The one thing that puts me off betting against Nikki Ash is she just got 2 new T-shirts made for her. Now, granted, they've released released T-shirts for people and then fired them the next day. So, that doesn't mean too much. Rhea seems like an afterthought in this match. Charlotte just lost her NXT Championship reigns. They stripped them out and no longer count. So she needs more reigns. You've got to wonder with everything going behind the scenes with Charlotte and Ric Flair and all that. It makes it kind of, who knows. Charlotte, I think she's worth a bet here. I do think, I could see them just trying to get her to win more titles, reigns, just to spite Ric Flair. You know how they work. So yeah, to me, they always bet on Charlotte rule. It makes it worth a small bet here. Like I said, confidence system. Right now, I'd say probably 1 unit. We've got Roman Reigns versus John Cena. Roman Reigns is a heavy favourite at minus 500. Second biggest favourite on the card next to Lashley. Cena is plus 300. Reigns should not lose. Roman Reigns should not lose, okay? Not yet. Not even a quick one. You know, this is where WWE like to mix it up at times. This is where they like to get bored and change things. A quick pay-per-view loss, you know, like Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton last year. You know, they flip it around before getting back on track. Roman Reigns should not lose. If you want to bet it, John Cena plus 300, quick title change for a month or so. He is going to be around, I think, till September at least. Definitely a possibility. I wouldn't bet on it, but up to you. I would just stay away though myself. Maybe if the odds get bigger, like plus 400, plus 500 might be worth it, but I don't see it. We've got the Usos minus 450, the Mysterios plus 275. This is a nice, easy 1, maybe even 2 unit bet for me. Plus 275 is a great price. The Mysterios, I mean, the way I see it is you want the Usos to lose the title belt, and then it throws some mystery into the Reigns Cena match, because if the Usos have already lost, you know, that makes Reigns, the pressure's on him more, stressed out, all that stuff. So Mysterios to me, 2U bet, maybe even 3U out of 5. That's how confident I am right now. We'll see how things go after SmackDown, of course. Things could change. And then finally, we've got one betting prop. Will Big E cash in? No is minus 275. Yes is plus 175. I'm going with the assumption he'll be feuding with Seth following SummerSlam, so I'm going to say no to that. Minus 275, not really something I'd advise betting, because I mean the odds on something like that are just, you know, if that does happen, you just, you know, you've lost $275 to win 100, and it's like you'd be sick, you know. Although it might be fun betting it, it'd just be a fun bet to place, and then you're just sitting there sweating bullets when the match is, when whatever match it is that is the main event is over with, and you're like, please don't cash in. So it might be a fun bet to make if you want that, you know. Actually, I think I will make it just for fun. So anyway, that's all the odds right now. I'll be back on Saturday at betwwe.com with my actual full official betting tips. The main ones I've been looking at right now is Jinder Mahal plus 350. That's one I really like. Seth Rollins plus 200 is a strong possibility. I'm not completely sold on it yet, so I'll wait till SmackDown to see. I'll be looking at Goldberg throughout the week and trying to analyse that, because you could see them throwing him a new deal if the rating, you know, and giving him the belt if the ratings were the reason. I could 110% see that happening. There's really, I mean, those are really main ones. AJ Styles and Omos, definitely one I'm leaning on a small bet on Styles and Omos. Just have to kind of see how things go there. And, you know, like I said, Orton and Riddle don't really need the belts to be awesome. They probably should be giving them, but instead they could drag it out longer. We'll see how it all goes. Anyway, that's it for me. Really hope you enjoyed the SummerSlam betting tips thoughts podcast. If you go to betwrestlingpodcast.com, we've did a couple of different podcasts lately. We did the top 5 SummerSlam betting upsets podcast, and we did the every All Elite Wrestling podcast ever. Well, we just covered the top 5, but we just covered the out of every single pay-per-view. So it's pretty interesting to hear, you know, like to see there's a very there's a trope among them where like there's one type of match that you should be looking at betting underdog more than usual, basically. So yeah, check that out, betwrestlingpodcast.com. Thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate it. If you are looking for the next podcast, it will be probably next week for All Elite Wrestling's All Out. That's one that I know Vince will be back for sure, so we can just sit here for 20 minutes and verbally masturbate over how great All Elite Wrestling is. It's what we do. That's it. Thanks for listening. Enjoy SummerSlam, and of course enjoy the first dance. Best in the world. That's me. Well, it's plus 150. Rhea is plus 250. What happened last time? Always bet on Charlotte. Money in the Bank. Who won? Charlotte.